Hey everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Air Hauler 2 with me, R37. So in our last flight, we were down, I think it was I-32 right here, Moorhead, Rowan County. There's actually a job there. Oh, it's going way off. I thought it was going right here. It's going way off. I was like, daggone, that pays good. But, so I flew up here to KFGX by myself, and now we're going to do the cargo flight going back from, KFGX over to our base over at Huntington. As you can see, it's really short. It's only like 57 miles. But it pays really good too. $5,700 for such a short flight. Alright, I was looking at the wind here. There's not a whole lot. For some reason. Like, oh, Huntington didn't... There's one at Huntington, but it didn't even show up. But as you can see, most of the wind is coming from the east, kind of northeast. So for that, we're going to take off, heading into the east for runway 13. Actually, do I have these written? I have that written down. Wrong note card. Right, runway 7. Right off to the east, and we can come basically straight in. As you can see, we'll land going to the east as well on runway 12. It's a heading of 119. ILS frequency is 109.9. And so the course is a little bit different because the chart has this 118, but we use 119 since that's more with FSX. Like I said, 109.9 is the frequency. ATIS is 125.2. The runway is technically on here 6,510 feet long. It's actually shorter than that in FSX. And the touchdown point and the airport elevation are both at 828 feet. We'll come in over to Wiley at 2,600 feet, then down to Hunt at 2,300 feet. So it should be a quick, short flight, which is kind of nice. Close that down as well. Alright, we'll go ahead and accept it. Sun cream. Alright, but one thing I need to do, for some reason this thing seems to be having a hard time starting. If it all of a sudden it started like a week ago, like it has a hard time starting up FSX. FSX gets to like 30%, 28 to 30%, and it just kind of stops and it holds there forever. But if I do FSX by itself and then just connect it like that, it goes up normal. I don't know what's going on. Alright. Go ahead and fly this now. Load that up. We'll put in a little bit of fuel. I'll take it up to 8 gallons. So it's 57, so we got like 20 extra miles with that. I wonder how much fuel costs, if it would be smart to ferry any over there. Alright, we're going, I guess it would be more to the east than anything. So we'll probably just go to 5,500 feet. There's no real reason to take all that time to get up to 7,500 feet for such a short flight, I don't think. Start at 1218, last position. Alright, we'll go ahead and meet on over at the plane. Alright, everybody, here we are at the plane. Here she is here in Flemingsburg. It's not where I actually parked. I think I parked over there. Not that it really matters or anything. Alright, we'll go ahead and get her started up. This should be a short flight. I'll go ahead and open up the throttle just a little bit. Make sure there's an auto cutoff. The prop area is clear. We can turn on our master switch. Turn on our beacon. We're not going to prime it as usual. We can give her a little bit of fuel. Might need to give her more than that. Just the full rich. I'm going to add just a little more throttle. I'll pull this out to 40. There we go. Actually, let's also make sure of a couple things. Well, I'll go ahead and turn on the headphones. Although what I was really looking for, right here. Let's get this set up. 4 gallons in each. I didn't record, daggone it, how much that weighs. We'll put in a few people here. But I forgot to, I didn't even think about that, to see how much exactly the cargo weighs, so I'll put them in there. At least we're carrying something with weight. Daggone it, I can't believe I did that. Forgot about it. Alright, oil pressure checked. We're in the green. Nav lights, we'll go ahead and turn those on. Alright, the master switch goes off. Landing lights and taxi lights are both on. Goes to idle. Master switch on. So we get the low voltage warning and everything. Alright, now we go up to 1500. Right about there. Ammeter did go up. The low voltage warning is off. So bring this back down. And the taxi and landing lights can both go off. Turn on the pitot heat. Alright, the avionics and master switch, that was apparently already on. That's why that was beeping. I was like, what in the world? Why is that going on? I guess I didn't turn that off or something. Turn this on. We're going to go to a maximum of 5500, so I'll go ahead and set that. Alright, the radios are all on. The flaps are retracted. Alright, so we're not... I don't even think there's a... No, there's not a tower. But I'll remember for a second. But Flemingsburg is way too small to have a tower. Alright, so we're going to select a runway for takeoff. And as I said, we were taking off on runway 7. And that's our taxi to the runway. Turn on our taxi lights. Switch that to GPS real quick. Maybe I should go ahead and put this to runway 7. I forgot to write down the runway heading for this. I always do the landing runway, I always forget this one. I was gonna say I've got it probably written on a note card of the other runway, which I could just take 180 from it or add to it. Alright. Air hauler's got us. Get a turner here. There we go. We'll follow the taxi line over here. Good, so we're at the correct end of the airport. Well, not, I shouldn't say correct. Better for taking off on runway 7 out to the right. That way we won't have to really go taxiing anywhere. We'll just pull onto the runway and take off. There's plenty of room there. I'll go ahead and put the flaps to 10. Turn these messages off. We're slowed down. Alright, stop right here, I guess. Stopped a little short. Go ahead and put the parking brake on. Alright, before takeoff checklist, flight controls. Everything good, rudder pedals. Everything is good. Take this off here now. Alright, flight instruments. Everything is set. We're in GPS. All the radios are on. We're set to 5,500 feet. 1,200. Gotta remember to turn that on. I always forget to turn the transponder on. I always have it standby. Fuel quantity, check. 4 and 4, just like they should be. Mixture, full rich. Fuel selector valves in both. Let's check our magnetos here. It's about 1,800 right there. Whoa. Always sometimes hit it clear over to start. Alright, that looks good. Actually, let me keep it at 1,800. I always forget that. I always think that's the last of it. It's not. Vacuum gauge, just barely at the edge of the green. Ammeter, everything is good. Annunciator panel. We're good. Throttle comes back to idle. At least below 1,000 or less. Alright, strobe lights and landing lights can both come on. Nav GPS were set. Autopilot is off. Elevator trim. We are trimmed for takeoff. The flaps are set at 10. We're ready to get on out of here. And we're heading to the east.
Kilo Foxtrot Golf X-ray traffic. Cessna November 7274 Hotel taking off runway 7 east departure.
Alright, everything looks good. Reset my views. Let's get on out of here. Parking brake is off. Should be a nice, short, easy flight. Fingers crossed. Alright. Pinch the throttles here. Off to the left. I'm having a hard time getting her back to the right. We'll go ahead and get out of here. Go ahead and retract the flaps. Little Flemingsburg. I've never been there. I see it on I-64 and stuff. Many a times, the sign for it. No point in ever stopping. Alright, trimmed a little better here. A little more nose down. Let's head over to the east. Get on to Huntington. Set autopilot here in a second. We'll take a look. There's not going to be really anything to see. It's a small area. Set that to nav. Vertical speed right there at 700 feet a minute. I'll go ahead and arm it for the 5,500. Let's take a look outside. Yeah, there's just basically a runway. I don't know if that's Flemingsburg over there. Two homes over here. Nothing really to see though. I don't even know where 64 is. I guess it's just a sign to say if you wanted to go to Flemingsburg, turn here. We'll eventually get there. Just a small area. Alright, let me check this out. Shire track 107. There we go, 107. 55 miles, it says 42 minutes. Of course, we'll get going a little faster here in a bit. Landing our little Cessna. Hopefully later today, I'm going to jump in the 767, which I haven't flown in a very long time. I'm going to try that over an air hauler. I have not flown a flight in air hauler in it's been 2 or 3 months. Kind of fun to jump back into air hauler. The original one. Alright, well, I guess there's nothing really to see, huh? We're about 20, coming up on 2,900, so I'll start to lean out here in just a second. Yeah, there's like nothing here. I wouldn't even know what all these little areas are, to be honest. Alright, well, since there's nothing here, let's go ahead and speed her up. And it'll literally just be a couple seconds, I guess. So I'm back. Be right back. Alright, everybody, slowing it down here at normal speed. We're right at 19 miles out. We're at 5,500 feet. Airport elevation, I believe, is 828, something like 820, around there. So procedures, we'll select the approach. We are landing on runway 12. I think we did vectors last time because Hunt does something weird. You have to go up and back. I'm just going to hit there. Yeah, that works fine because Hunt and runway 12. Alright, go ahead and activate the approacher as well. Let's go to our radios. 1099. There's our ILS frequency. Switch that over. 1099 for that one as well. Alright, Addons is 125.2. There we go. 125.20. And nothing. Oh, there we go.
Airport information, Romeo.
It's like, thanks a lot.
1256 shallow. Wind calm. Visibility greater than 20 miles. Sky conditions, view cloud at 5,700. Temperature
3020.
Altimeter 3020. ILS runway 30 in use. Landing and departing runway 30.
3020.
VFR aircraft say direction of flight.
Now see, they're saying runway 30, but we are coming in on 12, and that's what we planned on, so we're just going to stick with it. It usually is 30, but they've been giving us 12 lately, but that's what we're all set up for, so we're going to stick with it. So we need to go down to 2,600. Alright, vertical speed. 400. Altitude soaring. See, if I didn't have that ENB, I don't know if I should get rid of the ENB or not, because if we didn't use the ENB, we could use Addons and have them tell us what runway, and then we can go check charts and stuff. But I don't know. It's just I really like the ENB. I think it makes it look so much better. I don't know what you guys think. At 5,500, we were leaned out to 44%. So you have to lean it out kind of quick, I guess. This way it's been working. By the way, let's see. Heading is actually 119. So I'll go ahead and set that. So we're almost at the approach here. KDWU, we've been there in FS Passengers. It's right over on the river. It's Ashland, although it's not in Ashland. Actually, I believe in Worthington. Alright, turning towards it. Can't tell if that's it or not. Now, you can see Hunt there. In Hunt, we want to be at 2,300. I saw a flash, but I wasn't looking. That's it. So I'm going to let her go down to 2,300. Hunt is in 5 miles, and we need to get down, what, 1,700 feet? By the way, 4,000, we need to give this thing some fuel. We're high. Click on the throttle to help with that. Alright, we can switch this over to nav. Yeah, we are severely high, it feels like. Because now we're just 2 miles away and we've only made 500 feet down. 3 miles. I had a feeling that was going to be a problem because when we were setting it up, I didn't go ahead and set the altitude. We're about 1,000 feet too high, but we have 2 miles to get down 1,000 feet. So that's why we're going so slow. By the time we get to the runway, we should be fine. I'm thinking. Cut her down a little bit more. It's a pretty quick descent though, 900 feet per minute for a Cessna. A little less than a mile, like I said, we should be at 2,300 feet there. I'm not quite there. So we're going to be high, but not too much. So we're pretty much around maybe 300 feet high. As you can see, we are catching back up on the glide slope pretty quickly. There's the approach shoulder. Wow, she's bringing the nose up without me even hitting the approach shoulder. Or that's because we hit 2,300 feet, my bad. I was like, what's going on here? So that got us high again. Don't want to give her too much, but I wanted to catch back up to that. Get her speed up a little more. I was like, wait a second, I haven't hit approach hold. I don't know if you have to hit that again or not. Alright, we're coming up on the approach hold now. Glide slope, there we go. Alright, that should work. We're about ready to get off, to turn off the autopilot. Got a floater. Alright, she's wobbling around a little bit trying to get straightened out, so I'm going to go ahead and get rid of the autopilot. First notch of flaps, a 10. Pushed on the nose a little hard there. It's the only thing with slowing down at the very end, hitting those flaps, man, it gets you so high. Getting the nose down as we hit the second notch of flaps.
500. Minimums.
Alright, we're at full flaps. Still a little high. Slightly
100.
fast, but not too bad. Right on the glide slope now.
50. 40. 30.
Well, came down real quick right there,
20.
didn't we? We're floating her around
10.
a little bit. It wasn't very good, was it? Wasn't horrible, but it definitely wasn't our best ever. Just kind of floating her along. Go ahead and retract the flaps. We never went past 70%, 77%. Wasn't horrible. It was the best attempt. I'll take it. It was smooth and we didn't do any damage. So we'll take the money from all this. We should still have tons of fuel left. 2 and 2 maybe? 2 and 3? 2 and 2. Alright, this is our... we're going to turn right here. I didn't see other airplanes. Looks like we're going to be all by ourselves. There's that floater straight ahead. I don't know why that happens sometimes. Sometimes you see it in third-party scenery, but not usually in regular stuff. Alright, we're going to come over here and stop for a second. So turn everything off that we need to get off. Transponder can come off. Stand by. Strobes. The landing lights can come off. Pitot heat, I'll turn them off as well. Alright, let's go park this thing. We'll just park right there, probably. I don't even know if we need to stay on the taxi line when we're just going straight across. Like I say, I don't know if that's a violation or not. Do you have to stay on the taxi line to get to a place like that? I mean, go all the way down to your left or right, and to come across, that just seems ridiculous if you do. Stop her here. Parking brake is on. Alright. Electrical equipment, you will go off. Alright, the avionics master switch goes off. Taxi light, you can go off. Cut the mixture. Alright, everything's off. Air hauler just dinged. Alright, let's go ahead and go back over to air hauler. Get paid. Unload our cargo here. Sun cream. See, I don't know how to get that off. I don't know why the clothing is... it's still 0. I don't quite understand it. Alright. Alright. So we took off at 12:38, landed at 1:06. It was actually 33 minutes. Takeoff fuel 41. Landed with 28, just used 13 pounds. Max altitude 5,516 feet. Max pitch negative 12.1. Max roll negative 16.9. Minimum G's. Where were minimum G's? 0.6. Max exceeded 0. Max G's 1.4. Max exceeded 0. Stall false. Overspeed false. Landing description smooth. Gear down true. We landed on asphalt. No damage to the runway. No damage to the plane. Came down 133.12 feet a minute. Landing pitch negative 10.2. Landing roll 3.86. Landing heading 113. Landing wind speed 1. Landing wind direction 353. We landed on what, 119? Was the heading, so if it was 330, I guess it would be runway 30. Alright, but that job is done. Let's check out our information. Our overall reputation is up to 33. We're not too far away, man. Cargo up to 37. Increase of 0.3. I really, really like that, man. I really, really like that. We're getting really close. I wish they had one going back to Cincinnati so we could take them more close. Although we need textiles, so we actually can't. Financials, $76,842. I don't think we paid. Today is the 28th, right? So we paid today. I don't know if we've already paid it or not. It looks like not. Just put our landing fees and everything. So I guess it just takes it out. I don't think you have to actually pay. Like in air hauler, you have to confirm that you want to go ahead and pay it. Let's check out this as well. Because didn't we have a little bit? See, I couldn't figure out how to do that. Add ship stock. So if I move an airport base, let's see one thing. If I load the battery pack up and then unload, store this commodity at the base. Alright, so you can't just sell it. I thought you could just sell it to the base. I don't know, do you need... I guess we have to take it to a place that accepts battery packs, but I don't know anywhere... I haven't seen anyone accepting battery packs. Anyone over here want battery packs? Is KO... I don't remember which one... That's the big one, KCMH. See, batteries, but no battery packs. I don't know, we'll keep it stored. I guess we can make more if we wanted to. So whenever we need them, we could take them with us. So, when we wake again, battery packs, plastics, and clothing. We've only seen Cincinnati that takes clothing, and that was on that one mission. And we still have a little bit more to take over there. Yeah. Alright. That's good for now. That's going to be it for this episode, everybody. I hope you all did like it. And I'll catch you guys on the next flight.